distinguished guests, brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, friends and enemies.
Allow me to reintroduce myself.
Flexen comes up with a steal. Ball nearly taken away by Dudley. Curry from inside the 28-foot line does it again. Just as good a year in his own. Look up! Oh, you don't like that? You don't like NBA basketball.
I hate you. I don't even know you, and I hate your guts. I hope all the bad things in life happen to you and nobody else but you.
They were so convincing in their argument.
I'm not a businessman, I'm a businessman, man.
Good morning, good afternoon, or god damn it, good evening. Damn, it feels good to say that. Wow. Thank you for tuning in to the People's Champs. Thank you for tuning in to the best podcasters to breathe on the mic. And we are here to entertain you. I am David M. Allen, a.k.a. the underground voice of the Detroit Pistons, a.k.a. the hardest working man on the internet. That over there, people, feast your goddamn eyes. Huh? Feast your eyes on that tall glass. That dreamy man over there, huh?
Lady killer.
Oh, you better handcuff your baby mama.
Both of them.
Hey, for some of you, handcuff all four of them.
Right. Yeah. Oh, what did he say on Barbershop too? He's like, my baby mama's boyfriend came over and beat me up or something.
Oh man, I'm great, man. How you feeling?
Feeling good, man. Feeling good. It's good to be on. A lot of stuff to talk about, man.
Yeah, man, we can get to it, man. I got the tournament on. Gonzaga is currently beating Northwestern 16-6, getting in their ass right now. It's only the first half, but Michigan won yesterday. People are excited about that shit, and Michigan State won. Yeah, man, it's sports is cracking right now. I from what I hear, because the Warrior games don't always come on here, and it's a little bit irritating. But Steph is quietly being Steph again. I don't know if that's true. Can you confirm?
Yeah, I actually, before we talk about Steph, I wanted to ask you, what's the pulse? What's everybody's take on Jim Harbaugh out there? Because I have some news out that's kind of gonna go into what your answer is.
Oh, like, people love Jim Harbaugh here because university. I mean, here it's kind of like back home is Cal Stanford. Like it's either or, and people bicker. And here is either Michigan or State. And the people who love Michigan, man, they love the dude. Jim Rome hates him. I forgot they had a beef, but he's in LA.
Jim Rome hates everybody.
But yeah, what's the news?
No, so I was talking to a Michigan fan the other day, and he says he agreed with the Niners firing Harbaugh because he doesn't like Harbaugh because he puffs his chest out, and he was saying that most Michigan fans do not like him for that, just because he played over there or whatever the case is.
Where was this guy from?
He's from Michigan. He's from what is that?
Was he one of those I wear fucking those strapped sandals with no socks ass fucking people?
He was from Dearborn. That's by
I don't want to hear from him if you're from Dearborn. I don't want to fucking hear from you. That's like saying I'm from San Mateo. Same thing.
He was saying because Jim Harbaugh's brother-in-law he got fired or basically from Indiana, and Jim Harbaugh kind of went on a tangent about Jed York and Trent Baalke, and he was saying like, oh, a lot of people in Michigan don't like that, and what has Harbaugh done for us, and he only has 2 years tops left, and then he's out of there if he doesn't get us to the promised land. So I was like, I wonder what
First
the
of all,
post is.
when's the last time fucking Michigan even went to the promised land for you to be talking that shit? You know what? This is what I realize about people before I get to the post. A lot of people who don't like their lives or who don't like where they are in life or whatever, they don't like success. They don't like successful people. They don't like successful things. And one time, and somebody did let me know here that Michiganders love to complain. That's their shit. That's what was explained to me. This is a complaining ass place, and that's what they do. Don't take it all with a grain of salt.
So cold out here in the D, huh?
Man, but I mean, they haven't been talking about them lately. It's a lot of Lions talk and Red Wings and shit. But from what I gather, man, people love Harbaugh, and when you're winning, people don't give a fuck about shit. Right. When you're winning, no one cares.
Yep.
Let him go. Let him start the year off 8-9-0. They're not gonna be talking about him puffing his chest out, but let him start off 2-7 or something like that. That's with anybody.
I just because for me he made like a general statement, like he was being completely biased, and I'm like, I've only been to Michigan once, and I know for a fact I didn't hear too much Jim Harbaugh hate, whether I'm on a plane, whether we were in the mall, just in passing, So it's like, this sounds personal.
Sounds personal. Just you telling me the story, it sounds hella personal. And really, I've noticed sometimes when people give you those personal ass, opinions, when you really have a conversation with them, it comes out.
Right. It's just like with the Colin Kaepernick situation now he's quote unquote like saddened that he hasn't got any calls for free agents, and
I've even read a quote where he said he'll stand for the anthem now.
Yeah. Oh yes, me and brother Eddie, we talked about this ad nauseum. So now a few weeks ago he said, and mind you folks, Colin Kaepernick, I've always said, is a smart brother. 4.0 at the University of Nevada. He's not a dummy. This is all calculated. So what he's saying basically is, I'm paraphrasing now, not speaking verbatim, but he's basically saying that, like, I felt that the country is in a better position, that they were aware about the national anthem, so I'm going to start standing now. There's no more need for me to kneel. So
that's a nice way to spin it.
Right. So in my eyes, I'm like, yeah, I knew it. You know that San Francisco is not going to put up with your mess. No other team's going to put up with your mess. So you got to straighten up and fly right. I'm like, what you said about the anthem is 100% correct. You brought awareness to it. Yes, of course. Yeah. It's, the fourth line of the national anthem is completely racist and honors slavery. Yes. Just like most of the country's politics and laws and shit. But
how about this?
You had
quarterback needy teams. A lot of them are in the South, right? Houston.
Yeah.
You can't go to the South with that shit. You can't go to Miami with that shit. You can't get. I mean, where are you gonna go?
Hey, we and the Niners almost have the 2013 Chicago Bears like quarterback at depth chart. We got Matt Barkley and fucking Brian Hoyer. All we need is Jay Cutler, and it's so. I mean, for me, it's a calculated move. But he's talking about he wants to go to like Somalia and like aid over there and do that. So I'm like, okay, that's all good.
Well,
but
go. Don't tell me about it.
Right. Like,
stop talking and give me some action. Get on with it. Go. How about you tell me after you come back?
Yeah. Don't pull the yeah. I mean, you knew this coming in, that this was, which you didn't think. That football's a good old boy sport. Everybody knows that. You either play the house Negro role, or you be the outspoken Negro, or you shut up. And I think he's like, at this point, he's played all three of those roles. So now it's like he's going to Michael Sam his way out of football, pretty much. I already see it coming.
It might be happening now. I mean, he might be out now. At this point, who wants to touch you at this point? Like, you probably couldn't even go to Cleveland. And Hugh Jackson think he can fix everybody. But, oh well.
There was a lot of NFL free agent movements, wasn't? Oh my God! First of all, how do you feel about losing Latavius Murray?
I didn't care. I really didn't, because he has this weird running style where he runs hella upright. Like, he already thought he was Adrian Peterson anyway, but I mean, like, a lot of times he'll run for positive yardage, but I mean, it didn't matter. Jalen Richard did a much better job than him last year, and so did DeAndre Washington. So you're not really needed. The offense doesn't need you. Derek Carr slinging the ball all over the field, like, and then with the rumors of Marshawn possibly coming out of retirement to give Oakland one last little hurrah, like, nobody's really going to miss you now. Nobody gives a damn already.
If Marshawn came out of retirement to play for the Raiders, I think that would be fucking amazing. Like, he's probably like, you know what? Why not? What do I have to lose? I got money.
They said he was in Seattle the other day, asking for, like, his release or a trade, because that's the only way it can happen.
I think it would be dope. Why not? I mean, Seattle just signed Eddie Lacy, right?
Over Adrian Peterson. And right before I get to that, I just want to say that Latavius Murray needs to understand, and Vikings fans, I think, already know this, because I was doing some research just trying to get the pulse of Minnesota. Or just when I was looking at the Adrian Peterson stuff, I actually ran across this. Vikings fans realize that the Oakland Raiders have one of the best offensive lines in football. And we all know you're not about to go do that shit in Minnesota. You're not about to get much positive yard. You're not about to be a great replacement. They don't have an offensive line like that. And back to Adrian Peterson, word around town is he's asking for $10 and $12 million a year. And Seattle picked up a dude that was almost 270 pounds over you and gave him $5 million.
What does that tell you?
Right.
What does that tell you?
You thought you were going to Dallas, but because he also thinks he's a starter. He's on some Allen Iverson shit right now. And it's hella teams, like Raiders are going after a retired running back. Like, everybody else, everywhere he's going, he's leaving without deals. And they're picking other people over him. So it's kind of like, you not only do you see yourself as the lead back still, but you want all this money. And what do you think this is?
I think football, it's harder. What do I mean? I think it's harder for a superstar athlete to accept that back role. I mean, look, Dwayne Wade in basketball just fractured his elbow with the Bulls. He has a $23 million option. He has a $23 million option next year. So he can opt in and get $23 million. You can age gracefully in basketball and football because it's so much of a contact sport. You can't do that. Right. Well, I mean, here, check this out. Defensive end Pierre Paul, this is from courtesy of ESPN.com, signs a 4-year contract with the Giants. 4-year, $62 million deal, $40 million guaranteed.
They gave him that? What?
$40 million guaranteed. Wow. And isn't he missing 2 fingers still?
Yeah, from the when the fireworks blew up in his hand.
Right. Geno Smith is going to the Giants.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. Luke Wilson. Oh, the Raiders. Who did you got? The tight end from the Packers, Jared.
Yeah, Jared Cook, and then signed Cordell Patterson from the Vikings, the receiver. He's probably going to be a kick returner, but
EJ Manuel just signed with the Raiders too.
Why?
Good backup? No. Well, I guess you guys need a backup.
All right.
Let's talk about the Niners side.
Yeah, let's do that. Because I really want to know.
I am happy with what we got. One signing I'm not happy about is Day's favorite player in Oakland last year. His name, Malcolm Smith. Former Super Bowl MVP.
We signed him. Dude. Well, actually, I'm not as down on him as most of Raider Nation. Just because he did lead the team in tackles. But overall, I mean, he doesn't really stand out, and I think that's what most Raider fans were upset about. But I mean, I don't know who they. Sometimes, man, fans. That's why they always say, as a GM or a decision maker on a professional team, you never listen to the fans.
No, you don't.
You won't have a job.
You will be out. You be listening to the couch sports or no, just
Right.
you be like, wow, these guys know what they're talking about. I really love the Pierre Garçon signing, though. I love that signing. People were saying because
I didn't even realize that.
The post was that we were looking at Brandon Marshall, and I was like, no, because Brandon Marshall, I know he's past his prime, and plus at the time I didn't know who was going to be our quarterback. I'm like, who's going to give him the ball? You know. So when I heard that Pierre Garçon, what's that?
I said I'm mad at the Brian Hoyer signing.
I really thought we were going. Tony Romo. Okay, here's what happened with what's his face for the Browns. He went to the Redskins, the receiver Terrell. With Terrell Pryor going to the Redskins, there was rumors that Kirk Cousins, quote unquote, tried to force a trade to the Cowboys for straight up trade Tony Romo for Kirk Cousins. But then when that fell through, I'm like, ooh, I know Kirk Cousins is coming to the Niners. I wouldn't mind having Tony Romo. Hey, Jay Cutler just got released also. I wouldn't mind having him. Well, I wouldn't. We need somebody. Anybody is better. And Hoyer had that one decent season when he was with the Texans, when he threw 4 interceptions with in the playoffs when they got blown out by, I think, the Colts or by the Patriots or somebody. He's not a bad quarterback. He can't be worse than fucking Gabbert. I'm sorry. Gabbert was like the worst quarterback last year.
Right.
He cannot be worse than that. But it's funny because I'm excited about John Lynch actually doing stuff. Like, hey, I'm gonna do this, and he did it. Now, of course, training camp hasn't even started. A lot of these people who sign, hey, just like any team, they might not make the roster, but it's still a good feeling.
Yeah.
Is going to be our number one receiver. Torrey Smith is gone.
He's a legitimate receiver. He's legitimate.
Yeah, he is a B plus receiver. I've always liked that dude. He's a good receiver, man.
Please tell me Niner fans are actually cool with it.
The Niner fans are happy about it. They're still, diehards like me. We're still laughing at the, down South Bay, Santa Clara Niners for those fans because they don't understand what's going on. And, I'm waiting for the schedule to be released too to see what type of schedule we're going to have. But I know that's going to happen after the draft. But we cannot be worse than what we were last year. 2-14.
No way. There's no way.
I can't give you a prediction on what we're going to be this year because I need to see the schedule. But obviously, we just got the Ravens center. We traded for him, so that was
underrated as hell.
Yeah,
I don't understand the nuances of going to get a center or anybody else on the line.
No,
you got to really know football for shit like that, man. People want attractive headlines and shit.
I really, when I heard that Julius Peppers was on the market, I thought we had a chance to get him, but he went back to Carolina, which was pretty cool.
Well, things right.
Yeah. How do you feel about DJ Hayden going from your Oakland Raiders to the Detroit Lions?
What was crazy is
because you cannot stand him. He would intentionally take when we played Madden. He would take DJ Hayden out of the lineup. I was like, why? Because it's DJ Hayden.
I think what was crazy was, and you would think another grown ass man that plays professional football wouldn't be on my mind of things with as far as moving across the country, but it was just like, at least I don't have to see him anymore, But,
right.
But now I gotta see him every Sunday. Really?
Again?
I couldn't believe that, man. It was just like wait, what?
I laughed so hard when I heard that he was going over there. I was like, oh goody. Oh man.
Yeah, you're gonna. It's guaranteed when football season comes back. I'm gonna be talking a lot of shit on livefromwhatword.com about him and him getting cooked every goddamn week.
They signed him to what, a 1-year deal, I think. Like
yeah, a prove yourself deal.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Nah, but most of the Lions pickups were multi-year deals, but except for him, so and maybe one other person.
We also added a veteran kicker, Robbie Gould, so this will be pretty cool.
Okay, from the Bears.
Yeah, we waived center Marcus Martin. I could not stand him. Antoine Bethea got waived. Torrey Smith got waived. I was sad to see him go. Oh, and Jeremy Curley, that's right. He got cashed out on a 3-year contract. So I thought that was pretty like, oh, okay. Well, yeah. But,
John Lynch came in shaking things up.
He shook things up, man. A tornado inside of a snow globe. And I just made that up on the spot.
No, it looked like he came into the office and he looked at the roster sheet like, what is this?
Right.
Like, wow, we gotta get competitive and right now.
He was like, I can't get jiggy with this shit.
Right. Like, what is this? Who? Okay, I can see why dude is unemployed and I'm in here now. That was one of those.
Right. Real quick, before we wrap up this show, I just read that Bolden wants to play one more year. Him and the Lions have mutual interest, but his family lives in Florida, so he wants to play for a Florida team if he can't play for Detroit. Have you heard anything out of Detroit about where he might end up at?
Only thing I've read is that he was leaning towards Detroit. He had a pretty good year here. And the fans were really, really receptive of him. Only thing is he had a few drops in some key moments, and a lot of people were shocked that he, of all people, had a lot of cases of the dropsies when it counted. Golden Tate didn't as much, but him and Marvin Jones and really Ebron, it was like, wow. But Anquan Bolden, I was the most shocked about. That was just like, really? You?
What happened? I just don't understand what happened to the Lions in the late last year.
You know what? A lot of it had to do with that defense, and they don't really have a pass rush. What's his name? 61, Hyde. He showed up way more than their premier pass rusher, Ezekiel Anza. He didn't show up. He disappeared a lot. I mean, he has couple little nagging injuries, but he had like a sack on the year, and everybody was all projected him to have like over 10 sacks this year. He had 1.
Wow.
Hyde got in that ass all season, but they didn't have no pass rush. A lot. I mean, they just let go of their fan favorite linebacker, DeAndre Levy. He's gone because he didn't really play all season. He's always injured and shit, and their secondary sucks. And then they brought in DJ Hayden, which I didn't understand. The offense carried the team all season. But when it counted, receivers were dropping hella passes. Matthew Stafford played like his best year of football, probably of his life, and the receivers were dropping a lot of passes. I think they led the league in drop passes. It was crazy.
When Green Bay was, I believe they were about like 3-6. I was like, oh yeah, the Lions got this.
Oh yeah, me too.
I was like, the Lions got this. That was crazy.
Yeah, it was wild, but it was interesting to watch though. It was my first time in my life watching another team outside of the Raiders like every game like of the season. Like it was my first time ever doing that, and it was interesting. But it helped a lot that the whole Las Vegas shit like really helped me say I'm not watching them. Fuck them. You know, like
Mm-hmm.
it helped a lot. You know, like but me being me, it's so easy for me to just say, oh man, I gotta see where the Raiders are. I gotta be able to watch this game. But it was some days where it was just like I'm not tripping out there not being shown in Detroit. It was some days just because of the whole Vegas shit to just have me just like, wow. But yeah,
I I I the Raiders. I feel like they, we talked about this all the time on past podcasts, and just really, as far as like the pulse of what's going on out there, with them moving, I personally think they're going to leave. It's just they're already looking for like naming rights and all this other shit out there. There's really not much of a big talk of Raiders stuff going on, across the Bay right now because
I believe it.
Baseball season starting, and plus, the Warriors with whatever they got going on. But
and with the Raiders, I could also see that because they said the Ronnie Lott deal, the last deal that they brought out there was, in their minds, in their eyes, in the media's minds, just as bad as the original proposal. But by just as bad, it means there's no public money in it, no real public money. Or Mark Davis isn't getting all the proceeds like he wanted. So I mean, at the end of the day, as a native Oaklander, no rich owner and no owner period should have to be able to swindle the public out of public funds, out of money. Y'all should be able to build your own stadiums and everything else, because at the end of the day, the citizens don't get anything out of it. And we talked about this ad nauseum, but at the end of the day, Oakland needs so many things. So many things. So maybe this, if they do leave now, Oakland can address some internal problems that they really need to address that needs financial attention. So at the end of the day, whatever.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I look at it right now. Right now, as I speak, the Coliseum is not doing anything right now.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Football stadiums, you have minimum 8 games, 10 if you include preseason, maybe 11 postseason, 12 tops. Okay. So through a span of 6 months, there's an average of 2 games played there. Okay. So that means if you work at the stadium, or if there's like an event going on, they might practice there. They have practice facilities, so you can't even say that. So just because the Raiders, they share with the A's, they're the last stadium, the last MLB and NFL stadium to share, it's hemorrhaging money in these off seasons from January till till in a couple of weeks when opening day starts. What is it doing? Nothing. It's sitting there doing nothing. They might have like a flea market or carnival no. Other than that, it's hemorrhaging money.
And that's in the parking lot. And you know who is really making money as far as people who work for the Coliseum outside of like the owners and whatnot? The grounds keepers.
Yeah.
Because people, if you work at the concession stand, you're not making no money. What if the Raiders play, or any team, they play their home game today? They might be on the road next week. So if you get paid every 2 weeks, you just got a check for a day. What's that paying?
Exactly.
The groundskeepers, they have to work all the time. They have to keep that grass up to shape, especially with the Raiders and A's. So they're getting money. But a lot of other people, you're not doing anything.
With the fucked up sewage, the storms we had in January and February really fucked up the Coliseum. Like, it was so bad. The sewage had came back up for a second, and the San Leandro Creek that's right behind there, almost like flooded. And when I worked at AT&T Park, granted, you don't get paid that much being a concession stand worker, but during baseball season, if you work as a concession stand or you're
working all the time,
you can make a living doing that. You can't do that off of football.
No.
Not do that. You could do it off of basketball, baseball, and hockey, but you can't do it off of football because they only play 16 games and 8 of them is at home.
And if you have something like last year when they had the Raiders play a home game in Mexico City.
Hey. In the NFL, I know what they're doing. They're trying to compete with the NBA. They're trying to get the international dollar, and it's like they can't get it consistently. They can get it like once every couple of months. Like, oh, hey, let's check out American football, but it doesn't have that alluring factor like the NBA does.
It don't, because the NBA put their they wouldn't got that footing many decades ago. So yeah, man. So yeah, we're gonna call this one a wrap. Thank you all for listening. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you. You have a good night. Peace.
Peace.